many of whom he just met with during his trip to the Middle East. Trump speaks highly of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, all leaders he visited with recently, all of those leaders calling for de-escalation. And one Arab diplomat telling me tonight Iran's nuclear facilities are located closer to Gulf capitals than Tehran itself, and that any potential leaks from these sites could have catastrophic consequences. Blake.
Our Kelly Meyer, who we will check back with throughout the hour live at the White House tonight. Kelly, thank you. So as the world watches the events unfold in the Middle East, back here in Washington, you would think the response would be just sort of one thing, right? That's not the case tonight. Our Joe Khalil with us tonight live here in studio. Joe, the reaction sort of, for the most part, there behind Israel, but there's still a conversation and a debate here that's starting to take shape.
In both parties, actually. Yeah. And it's interesting so let's start with Republicans. There's a split between those in Congress and out. In Congress, virtually everybody is supporting Israel. Strong statements. You got things like Lindsey Graham here. We'll put it up on your screen, where all night he was praising these strikes. And then today he says, if Iran refuses to come to the table, quote, I believe it's in America's national security interest to go all in to help Israel finish the job. So there's a lot of that in the Capitol. Outside of that, when it comes to Republicans, there is a big movement within the MAGA base, as you know, Blake, that loves President Trump for being the anti-conflict, anti-war guy, right? So there are people who, like Tucker Carlson's of the world, those influential voices within MAGA, really upset about his support. People like Thomas Massey in Congress have expressed that opinion too. On the other side of the aisle, this is also splitting Democrats in some way, to an extent. Take a listen to what Senator Jack Reed said. He's important. He's the top Democrat on the Armed Services Committee. This is his view here.
What does the day after look like? Is it full of terrorist attacks throughout the region and the world? Missile attacks by Iran against Israel? My sense is that the United States was, not my sense, it was quite clear, was trying to persuade the Israelis to wait.
So caution there, but Blake, there are plenty of Democrats who also sound more like Lindsey Graham and say Israel's got a right to defend itself. They support the strikes too. So really you're seeing rifts a bit on both sides here.
Our Joe Khalil with us tonight. Joe, thank you. Joining me now is the Republican congressman from Georgia, Rich McCormick. He is a member of the Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committee. The congressman, by the way, also a veteran, having served in the Marine Corps. Thanks for being with us tonight, sir. I appreciate your perspective on this. One of the reasons why I wanted to hear from you this evening. You've been posting and giving your thoughts on all this. Let me start with the United States' involvement and assisting Israel tonight. What do you believe sort of the line is for the U.S. to help Israel, and how far the United States should go?
Sorry, you're breaking up.
Congressman, do you hear me?
You broke up there right there. That last part, I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
Do we have the congressman or no?
I can hear you fine now.
You hear him? I'm sorry. It's my audio, sir. So I'll tee you up with what do you think the U.S. involvement should be with Israel?
Well, first of all, realize the Tehran regime, nobody likes you. For a long time, for decades now, around the world, they've killed Americans with their weapons. They've gone against our allies. They consider Israel the little Satan, and we are the big Satan. They want to take us out. They cannot have nuclear weapons. We should do everything inside of our capabilities to assist Israel or to destroy their nuclear capabilities, because they will hurt people. Anybody who's read books on nuclear war and who can start it, don't think that a theocracy full of people who want to destroy Israel and who see the United States is evil, that they won't deport terrorism all over the world, that they are the most dangerous regime and they need to be taken care of now instead of after they achieve nuclear arms.
Congressman, one of the things that stood out to me was the president today. He posted this, basically talking about an Iran deal, or at least how Iran should come to the table and take a deal. And he said this: I told them it would be much worse than anything that they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come, and they know how to use it. How do you believe, or what do you make of the president sort of leaning into this tonight in sort of this fashion and in this manner?
Understanding that they have one choice. Don't become a nuclear armed nation. That nobody trusts them. Nobody wants them to have nuclear arms, and we'll do anything that's on the table to take them away from that, whether it be economic, militarily. We'll isolate them. We'll make sure that they don't have that capability, because it can literally be the start of the end of the world. I don't trust Iran. If they fire upon Israel with nuclear weapons, don't think that they won't fire on us also. If they're that crazy that they would start a nuclear war, they can start with anybody.
What do you mean by a start to the end of the world? I hear you there on nuclear weapons, but there is a range and there is a limit. What is the reality as you see it with Iran?
So first of all, they've been exporting their drones all over the world already against our friends. Georgia Guardsmen that died because of drones produced in Iran. I've said multiple times that if you fire on our ships with Iranian weapons, then we should take out your Navy. We should take out your production of those facilities that produce weapons against the United States of America. And I've been very strong on this, very consistent on this. Now, if you're going to produce nuclear arms, and you've been literally saying we're going to produce nuclear face of the earth, and that Israel's the little Satan, the United States is the big Satan, that leaves us with one alternative. We will deny you nuclear capability, even if that means extreme violence on those facilities. Nothing's off the table, because this is a matter of existence, not only for Israel, but for the United States and really all of mankind.
Congressman, do you think a deal is possible? The president has, views himself as sort of the ultimate deal maker, and today basically said time was up. 60 days, I warned you, and the Israelis didn't wait much more than a few seconds past the 60 days and went forward with the attacks on the generals there and the nuclear sites.
Well, how many times have we negotiated with these guys in the past? Look at what Obama did.
Well, that's why I wonder if you think a deal's possible, yeah.
Well, there's a deal possible. The question is, will they stick to it? They've shown over and over again, when we made a deal with them last time, gave them piles of cash not to do what they're supposed to what they continue to pursue, which is uranium enrichment. They continue to do it, and centrifuges had to be destroyed. We were able to do it through cyber abilities last time, but now we can't do that anymore. They hardened the target, so now it comes down to one other alternative. You won't come to the table. You keep on stalling. You're not executing this in good faith. Therefore, there's one option left on the table. We can't wait until they have a nuclear arm, till they're a peer. We can't wait, because then it's too late.
Congressman Rich McCormick, I thank you for working through it with me there on the audio issues. It was mine, not yours, sir, with us tonight here on the Hill. Appreciate it. We'll talk again soon. Thank you, sir. Joining me now in studio. Yes, Julia Manchester, national political reporter for the Hill. Chris Stirewalt, host of the Hill Sunday, senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Hello to you both. Thanks for being here this evening on what has turned into a really consequential last 22 hours, I think, at some point. Julia, let's look here at what's at stake in the Middle East and what's at stake for the United States. You just heard the congressman, in his view, lay some of it out. In the Middle East, as we watch all of this unfold tonight with live images in Israel, what's at stake for that nation and for that region?
Well, I think for the region, the order in which we understand that region, with Israel, quite frankly, being on the defense, but from Iran and its proxies in the region, that could be flipped depending on what happens, in this scenario. And if you see Iran continue these retaliatory strikes against Israel, Israel will continue to be put on the defense. But, I think from a Washington perspective, from the United States perspective, this is obviously coming as President Trump has been trying to hash out this nuclear deal with Iran. His Truth Social post earlier today was quite interesting, because he said, look, you have to make a deal now, or you're going to face lethal consequences.
Yep. And their weapons are our weapons, and they're better than yours.
Absolutely. And it came shortly after President Trump said he warned Benjamin Netanyahu not to do any, action or moves against Iran that could put a deal in jeopardy.
1:12 in Tel Aviv this evening. Chris, what's at stake there for Israel this evening in the region as well?
Well, the last time we were here on this matter, we saw something we had never seen before, which was the Gulf states, the Sunni Arab states, coming to Israel's defense as Iran tried to attack it. Now, that was Iran in reprisal for the Israelis having taken out. Oh, go ahead.
No, keep. So the reason why we just took that video full, Chris, is because you saw some flares there. There are new reports out at this moment that Iran has launched more missiles at Israel that you could see there at the bottom of the screen. It seemed as if the